传奇该如何铸就
？Best LPL player ever。
哇，这2016年的呀，好久远了，赛后的，怀念吗？
烈火焰 ，It's still alive, it's still surviving。
身体的毛病就全部被你暴露出来，很难这样子点。Greedy, hard to kill.
Never doubt Uzi. Uzi is a walking god of League of Legends.
Royals not gonna give up on doing it.
Where were you when history was made?
The crownless king now rules the world.
英雄联盟名人堂所纪念的传奇，不仅是为了过往的成就，也是为了告诉大家，那些你经历过的考验、苦难乃至遗憾，皆是铸就传奇的必经之路。
小时候的话，其实我经常会跑去打游戏，因为我发现我非常喜欢玩这种对战类的，就是竞技类的游戏。就大家会口头有一些嘲讽什么的，我觉得这个是很有意思也很刺激的一件事情。做的最多的事情还是打英雄联盟，每天就很快乐的干着这件事情，然后看着自己一天一天的在进步。现在看来，这个积累的训练量还是非常有帮助的。带着大家玩，然后就是有一波完美的配合，包括一起呐喊、一起欢呼的那种团队配合的胜利感，非常的不一样。我又特别喜欢虐别人的感觉，你知道吗？然后我就一直玩，一直玩。
我第一次听到 UZI 这个 ID， 它还不叫乌兹，它当时的 ID 是狂小狗，在国服的电一打到了非常高的分数。其实，在乌兹拿到很高分数的时候呢，就已经有非常多的玩家关注到他了。
然后我觉得这个人怎么玩的那么狂吧，就玩得很装，然后操作也很好。就当时我已经加入 Royal Club 了，所以第一句就是有没有兴趣打职业，来不来我队。
现在看到的就是我们的这名非常给力的 AD 选手 ，ID 是 UZI， 非常的害羞，但是他的人气很高。
Back in the day, there was like a moment at LCS where I was overhearing Chaos talk about Uzi. But he was like, the way this guy moved his mouse and the way that he farmed, it looked effortless. I was like, wait, when people watch me play, when I farm, does that look effortless?
Back then, I was watching a lot of UCI VODs because I thought that he was the best AD carry in the world.
I first heard about Uzi at some point in 2013, that he's basically just this incredibly mechanically gifted AD carry and possibly angry little rager.
He was just so good at the game, and he was making a lot of really talented opponents look very foolish.
그냥 AD 캐리의 정석이었던 것 같습니다. 정석보다는 AD 캐리의 끝판왕?
저는 우지 경기를 보면서 캐리가 이런 거구나라는 느낌을 받았기 때문에 아 그래서 저걸 AD 캐리라고 하는구나.
这波维恩的防御非常的 nice， 看到已经没有人能阻止他了。
因为在那样一个远古时期，大家对于 ADC 的概念或者对于 ADC 的一个要求是要稳健、农兵、补刀、拉扯，然后保血量。但是乌兹的打法的
要五杀了，三杀，要五杀了，四杀，最后一个。
He's playing like a psycho. He's going for every trade. He's fighting for every farm. He's suffocating the enemy carrier out of the game.
Double kill coming in for Uzi.
It felt like he was the game and everything else was around him.
They might even just give this kill to Uzi, and they will. They want to make sure that Vayne gets as much farm as possible.
就是 战术的出发点是小狗顺，我开团就能赢。他就是不顺，就是要让他打前，推完线去吃中线，打吃野怪，发育，全部钱给他打。
乌兹愿意让团队把所有的资源都给他，然后由他最终来吃掉所有的资源，然后 carry 比赛。
The end result is then he would just absolutely pop off.
当时的这种打法叫做养狗战术嘛
，raise the puppy，
raise the puppy，
raise the puppy，
raise the puppy。
我觉得他玩的跟疯狗一样。
Still trying. There's the shot. He's going for Goro. Blows him away. Gets the kill. Gets the reset. Uzi. He stays alive here. And now they're going to keep going.
然后他是，我记得好像就是失血去操作了一个5杀吧，对，很夸张。 Uzi is a walking god of League of Legends.
He flashes up. He's still alive, but he's gonna go down there. No, he stuns. He stuns Go against the wall.
기계가 했어도 똑같이 했을 것 같습니다.
He's half a completed item ahead of the animated carry, and he's doing stuff like that.
Holy goodness!
There were multiple attempts at trying to beat him and multiple fails.
He will fall, and the RNG counterattack begins. Into the pit goes Karsa. Baron going to be taken down below 1,000 HP.
I have 322 CS at 29 minutes. That's really impressive. Uzi has 390. How is this even possible?
就是感觉他打法特别激进的。我觉得当时在赛场上面，他还是有很多的精彩操作吧。
Uzi lets it rip, and Uzi gets the kill. Now jumps in on towards that Mission, gonna try and clean one up. That's
Uzi.
Uzi grabs the double kill. Gonna keep moving forward. Sunlight's dead. Oh my God, Uzi! Triple kill. Uzi is a walking god of League of Legends.
When I think of Uzi, I think of the first big game that I saw him in, which was the OMG series in 2013, where he stayed alive on Vayne.
我记得可能我们都是3个月，就是从城市赛一路拿到名额，再打到世界赛。
It's time for our 4th and final quarterfinals matchup of Worlds, and it's China's #1 seed Royal Club versus the 2nd seed from China, OMG.
If you ever ask anyone, when was the first time you heard about Uzi? They're gonna say this moment.
Phantom Dancer now added into the blade of the Rui.
其实韦恩这个英雄，以我的记忆中啊，当时其实全球范围都没有多少人玩，因为这个英雄很弱，无状态玩的狐狸。然后我不知道为什么他看到我很上头，他用大来追我了。
Allow me to clean up fights is Vayne, but OMG going for the fights. They have the man advantage.
我就一直说狐狸没大。
Oh, lovely, nicely going very deep. Cool gonna go over towards Sammy. There's a Stan United being used very, very early.
然后小狗说，那个没大，看我。
Uzi is coming in from the backside. Surprise! Here comes the bait. Kill for White. San's not going to escape this one. They focus down Uzi, but look at him. He's still alive. He's still surviving. He stays alive. Ace for Royal Club. Amazing fight coming out.
我第一次看到那一幕韦恩操作的时候，就是为什么英雄联盟能这么玩的感受。
이 영상은 좀 많이 봤던 영상이어서 예전 영상들을 보면은 그때 당시에는 좀 잘해 보였을 수 있는데 지금 보면은 많이 부족한 것들이 보통 보이거든요. 근데 이 장면에서는 그냥 부족한 게 없는 것 같아요. 그 상황에서 좀 완벽하게 잘 한 것 같습니다.
2-0, amazing performance. You had to protect him, protect the puppy, and that's exactly what they did.
但是后面就打完比赛嘛。 哎，看一下论坛、微博，看一下那个 Reddit， 还有那个 YouTube 嘛，然后就说哇，好像你火了。他就会一边那个经典的笑容，就说真的假的，就我都以为我要死了。
That Vayne play was the moment that people knew that this kid was special.
“那为什么没有冠军？乌兹他有一个名号叫做“无冕之王”，就是他往往会输掉国际赛的决赛。
一群那个新兵蛋子突然到了一个不属于他们的地方吧，就觉得那个时候怎么会有这么强的队伍跟选手。当时其实脑子里就是非常的空白，你还很多方面不足，你还不够，你还要去沉淀。我一定要想办法赢你，就是这种感觉。
Every time his strategy didn't work, Uzi just doubled down. He just said, let's do this in a more extreme way.
솔직히 뛰어난 원딜러긴 한데 정글러로서는 정말 이제 스트레스를 많이 받지 않나. 우지가 상대 정글러한테 갱 당하면 기분을 많이 안 좋아하거든요. 그것 때문에 저 갱을 계속 봐줘야 되나? 내 정글러 먹어야 되나? 어쩔 수 없이 바텀에 계속 시선이 가요 게임 내내.
好像更多的是没有看嘛，就我只在乎自己比赛的状态。
Meanwhile, it's all on his own. Uzi around the back. The damage is absolutely insane. Double kill for Uzi.
我是一定不能输的。
2년 연속 월드 결승에 진출했다. 그거는 그 당시에는 페이커도 못한 거 아닙니까?
Starman Royal Club's only chance is really just to rely on Uzi. Everyone knows when they play against Royal Club, let's kill Uzi. We'll do everything we can to hold this guy down.
프로 플레이어이기 때문에 승리가 가장 중요했어가지고 좀 최대한 전략적으로 많이 저희 팀 입장에서는 피하려고 했었던 것 같습니다. 특히 이제 우지 선수랑도 상대팀으로 연습을 많이 했었기 때문에 결승전에는 루시안을 주면 안 된다라는 생각을 많이 했었고
Lucian banned now 3 games in a row now by Samsung Wild.
其实你会的英雄也好，你会的战术也好，都是非常单一的。但是那个时候是需要去做一些创新和一些改变的。
He's gonna go down as well. Insane low. Insane goes down. Now Uzi in trouble.
Now all of a sudden, like, your strategy doesn't work. You get all the resources and you don't carry. Either you need to change or the team is gonna fall apart.
Uzi's gonna go down. And Samsung White are the 2014 World Champions.
저희 전략이 우지 선수 키우기 전략이니까 그거에 실패했을 때 우지 선수 본인 자체가 많이 더 아쉬워했던 것 같아요. 왜냐면 본인이 자원을 많이 몰아먹고 했으니까.
他不是很懂得怎么表达自己吧？他表达自己的方式就是红，就是生气嘛，就整个人就红。
那个时候给我的感觉就是自大的一脸吧，因为当时真的就是非常疯狂的一个狂小狗吧，就在 S5的时候都是这种性格。
솔직히 우승을 하고 싶어가지고 약간 더 좋은 팀을 좀 더 갈고 했었던 것 같기도 해요.
我感觉就是你只要给我打最强的5个选手集合到一起，我一定可以就是去拿到那个最后的冠军。
OMG比赛！
哎，扛一下暴力，扛一下，我要死的！
你会发现，你去到一个新的环境，所有人都不了解你，没有任何一个可以依靠的地方，这一切跟你想的都不一样。
Battling it out, Uzi is trying to dance away the best that he can, but he finds Wayless. This is not what he wants.
One of the first surrenders that I've ever seen to come out from OMG ever.
주전에서 계속 밀려나가지고 서브에서 좀 오래 앉아 있어가지고 본인이 좀 많이 괴로워하지 않았나.
Good, nope, instead goes in for the knocker. Uzi has to cleanse it. No, waits it out, the spell shield. And now they're going to come back in. Mako jumps in again. Dev going to get another kill.
They can't rely on one person carrying. They are a very strong team.
就那个时候，其实自我怀疑是越来越大的。
Maybe he's too resource hungry.
with all of the CC. Uzi just couldn't get anything done.
Maybe he demands too much to the detriment of his team.
血死都没问题，死也把这个打了，赶紧。
Maybe this raise the puppy strategy just isn't the way that you win titles.
这肯定是会有一个利弊的一个衡量的。这样一个性格打法就会很激进，就会很凶。在当时来说的话，我觉得他更多的还是体现在场上的一个表现吧。至于他场下的一些表现，我相信他的队友可能理解或者了解的比我们更深。
But you could tell there was this sentiment where people wanted to see him lift a trophy. Surely we can find him a team to win.
RNG picked up Uzi in the AD carry role. He's back on a royal roster.
Now going to be playing with Mata in the bottom lane.
제가 우지 선수랑 한 반년 정도 같이 플레이를 했는데 되게 지기 싫어하는, 저도 마찬가지지만 되게 더 지기 싫어하는.
From China's LPL, Royal never give up.
历史战绩来说，确实在那几年面对 LCK LPL 的胜率是比较低的，就大家在感情上还是有些难过的。2进决赛，你总要赢其中1次吧。
Let's meet their opponents for tonight, the reigning world champions. SK Telecom T1.
Should go down, survives the voice of light, sidestepped. Now all of a sudden RNG are rooted. This is gonna get messy. Duke's got 1, 2, looking for a third. Mata throws up the RNG flag, but it's a dying flag.
He put a tremendous amount of pressure on himself. Every year it kind of compounded. Going up against everything, he just has this belief in his own 2 hands.
Wow, Vayne coming through again in Uzi. They've dropped 1 game in this series. Zuman and Xiaohu finds it. Faker now amidst 4. The push is in. Do they have the damage they need to kill him off? The chase continues in, and he's not going to be lost to the world. RNG are a single game away from making history.
就这一路走过来，你太多次觉得可以的事情都没有做到，就回想起来还是很可惜吧。
This could be the death now. Uzi trying to kite from Huni. It's not going to happen. That's 4. That's going to be 5. That's the ace.
当你无论做出什么改变，你都拿不到自己想要的成绩的时候，是非常难受的。
就当你整个人有压力的时候，你的身体的毛病就全部被你一下叫排挤出来的感觉吧。手指有一些僵硬，然后没有办法很好的去活动嘛。对，那个时候就是感觉到身体好像没有以前那么抗造了。
진짜 이상하게 라인 미는 거나 평타 치는 게 뭔가 많다고 느껴졌거든요. 뭔가 분명 공속이 1인데 1.5 같은 느낌? 그래서 손목이 많이 안 좋나 싶기도 하다고 느꼈던 때가 있었던 것 같아요. 네. 많이 쓰니까.
当时身体也是感觉需要去停止一下，时间也不等你。
我觉得在我带你训练过程当中，我觉得你是一个非常非常强好胜心的人。你是不断的在挑战自己，虽然每一次训练真的都很辛苦，因为你每一场训练都是在不断的去提升这个难度负荷。作为你的教练团队来说，其实我也是很受到你的激励的。
当时在知道这个伤病之后，其实做了一些能让自己放松的一些准备。 没有那个概念，就没有说你去运动一下，包括每天做一些舒展的动作，然后拉伸一下。
对，然后交换一下。对，他其实拉这一块。差不多，我们走。
在 S8之前，更多的就是一个非常狂的一个状态吧，包括没有那么多的思考，没有那么多的对于队友的帮助吧，可能更多的要队友去帮助我的那种地步吧。到 S8 可能慢慢的知道了整个互相帮助，包括团队的进步有多重要。
那今年又到了狗年，然后在狗年刚刚开春的第一场比赛 ，UZI 要代表 RNG 上场，也是蛮有意思的。
是的，伤愈复出，重新归来。
其实，在我看来，就是他休息的那段时间吧，他可能更多的一是在处理伤病的问题嘛，二是我觉得在这个时间段他也成熟了。
我还记得我第一次加入到队伍之后，我第一反应是有点害怕他，不敢去跟他打招呼的一个第一印象。他其实给了我很多包容嘛，他会让大家所有人去更加努力的去打得更好。打到后面的时候，我会觉得这种打法真的越打越爽。
It's a perfect game. RNG smash Team WE.
They've still got a long way to go, but they're making a decent start to getting back.
很多成长空间去跟上他步伐。那时候，我们比如说这个情况下他会怎么做？他可能会说打呀，不用退，就是大家去操作嘛。
He uses the smite to try and get some more hit points. Uzi still going forward. He gets the kill. Jumps over. Gets the top of Scout. Double kill for Uzi. They send a message to the rest of the LPL. We're back and we're coming for the championship.
这个成熟不只是我跟队友的沟通更紧密，同时就是他在游戏风格上的成熟也愈发的展现，就是他会在游戏当中更多的跟队友进行配合，然后他会懂得如何利用自己的优势帮助队友。
Invictus Gaming, the most dominant team of 2018. They are the heavy favorites coming into this matchup.
然后我就是会去跟他讨教，他也会一直教我，可能不再是作为队友，我觉得更加亲近了，变成了兄弟。
Crucial cooldown, and the choo-choo trains in the backlines. Everyone's low. Uzi's diving in. Everyone from IG is just going to get taken down. Triple kill being picked up by Uzi. Chasing down the fourth member. Penta kill to Uzi. And with the Nexus exploding, RNG head to the grand finals.
This is when Uzi finally takes over his demons. 21 years old, hasn't won a title yet. The hunger is there and the maturation is here.
But the Mad Dog has always been the underdog when it comes against EDG.
在18年和他交手的时候吧，不是说一味的去进攻，一味的去压制。那乌兹他其实是在自身上面做了一些改变，然后我觉得这个对于他而言也是一个很好的蜕变吧。他理应拿到这些荣誉。
RNG collapsing towards the pin. It could be a 50-50. On comes out Clearlock. He's almost dead in the back lines. Baron has to beat him. RNG find the team fight. Uzi's still alive. He sliced the Baron. He takes the away from EDG.
His team are trying to pull him over the line, and even the crowd knows.
Horn is out.
Letney wants it now. Nocturne's going in, and the AD carry is dead.
Chasing the back lines. Scout using the stasis, but he's going to go down as well. Uzi picks up a double.
拿冠军，拿冠军，检讨拿冠军，然后检讨然后就很特别激情。哇，我觉得他当时真的是所有压力都没了，一瞬间，就他真的整个人是发自肺腑的那种很开心，从上到下。
The curse lifted. The prophecy has been fulfilled. Uzi now reigns as king. Royal, never give up. Champions.
就是我等了很久很久嘛，就大家更多希望是你先去举起来。
因为在之前那么久，可能大家都希望看到乌兹捧起冠军奖杯，然后最重要的是在春天的成功之后，大家对后续整个下半年的比赛真的充满了期待。
많은 분들이 예상하신 대로 결승 매치업 한중전이 됐죠. RNG와 킹존이 대망의 결승전을 치릅니다.
Going into the tournament, RNG weren't favorites. Korea in general was always just number one. It wasn't until the finals itself, actually, where you could see how good he actually was.
Sous leur forme finale pour poursuivre l'héritage coréen. S'il vous plaît, une fois de plus pour les Kings of Dragon.
Une autre salle
applaudissements s'il vous plaît pour le Royal.
就我拍摄英雄联盟是从2012年开始，当有 LPL 这个英雄联盟职业联赛存在的第一天开始，我就在赛场上能看到他，所以我能更近距离地接触到 UZI 这个选手。
Caught in place, chain of corruption was spreading. Levy's taking a lot of damage and taken out. Costs his life.
没关系，没关系，可惜。我们这个阵容确实伤害不太多，对，可惜，没关系。
Kingzone are going to be able to take the Nexus.
没关系，没关系，加油
！2018年 MSI 那一次是我第一次感觉到 UZI 是一个有领袖气质的人。
Kingzone melt through Royal, never give up, and even the series 1-1.
其实有个小故事让我觉得特别难忘。那个时候 RNG 刚去 MSI， 遭遇了连败。
Flash Wolf win. Team Liquid take down RNG.
大家突然那个期望值掉得很低，然后更衣室的氛围比较沉闷。他在那种绝境的时候，或在队伍气氛最冰点的时候，用一些比较重的话去唤醒大家。我觉得那照片就是黎明前的黑暗。
Welcome back to Game 3 of RNG taking on Kingzone. Here comes Pawn. Stand United buying some time. There's no flash for Uzi, but he manages to get another arcane shift. Lemmy will not find the taunt, but there's enough damage coming out thanks to that Tiamat. Now Lemmy's in trouble. He gets chopped down, taken out, and killed by Prey's auto attack. Shahu's looking for a flank, but it's Uzi with the double.
Never doubt Uzi. He makes the play into a good one.
Royal never give up. A 1 win away from the championship.
Once you reach the highest highs of League of Legends, small details are everything. There's a lot of good players out there. And what makes you stand out is that in these moments, when all of the pressure is on, all of the stress, you find that little loophole, that thing that you could be doing in the game that no one else sees. Uzi saw the game, and his teammates followed blindly. That's just an unreal level of trust.
카이사 계속 밴 당하다가 카이사 한번 딱 풀어주고
이즈리얼을 밴했어. 카이사 열고. 에지는 그렇게 생각할 것 같아. 이거 하늘이 나를 돕는구나. 이 중요한 순간에 이 마지막 순간이 될 수 있는 내가 영웅이 될 수 있다. 마치 막 그런 정말 좋은 상황인 것 같긴 해.
페인이 왜 우지에게 맡겼습니까? 앞으로 그럴 수 있지 않습니까? 카이사는 적에게 달려갈 수 있지 않습니까?
In the deciding Game 4, he calls out the opponent QSS to the second.
So naturally, there will be QSS on the enemy carries. And QSS has a longer cooldown than the Malzahar ult. So if you are very good at the game, you keep track of the QSS cooldown, and you realize there is a short window from the Malzahar ult coming up the second time and the QSS coming up the second time.
他们还没有水银呢，还差10秒。哎，中路我们要看一秒。对。
The fact that he not only comes up with the plan, communicates it, gets his teammates on board in that short amount of time is insanely impressive.
See with the QSS here, Prey seems to be on cooldown for a short amount of time. 他们还没有水银呢。Shahu is on his way for him.
Oh, that's straight onto Prey! All of the Forge God comes out as well as Killer Instinct.
죽었어요! 간이 망했어요!
2 seconds on that QSS, but it wasn't ready in time.
Look at the death timers. It's 40 seconds on BDD. It's 33 on Prey.
They're pushing now into the base. Xiao on its way back to TP.
Royal never give up on doing it. For the first time ever. The crownless king.
在2015年 MSI 以后 ，LPL 有3年没有拿过任何国际赛的冠军，几乎颗粒无收。UZI 和他所在的队伍 RNG， 让我们 LPL 的观众重燃了希望。这就是 UZI 给我的启示。
你不是那种狂欢的哇，你也不是那种喜极而泣的哇，而是那种哇，那种很感慨的哇。
就那种感觉，也是宣泄了他作为职业选手吧，这么多些年的一个压力。
就那种感觉，没有办法真的复刻了，就没有办法找到同样的感觉了。
我们是冠军，翱翔牛逼
！What a year for the best player in the world, Uzi. He survives.
우지는 저희 화면으로 봤습니다. 옆에서 보니까 더 잘하실 거 아닙니까? 우지는 진짜 대단한 선수죠. 어떻게 생각하십니까? 우지.
제 생각에는 우지는 진짜 전 세계 어디에서 태어났어도 정말 최고의 원딜러가 될 수 있는 자격이 충분한 선수거든요.
어디에서 태어났어도
최고의 극성.
真的，这是我6年以来一直一个最大的梦想。我觉得今天实现了，真的，我太开心了。我完全想象不到，我现在站在这里，真的我是冠军，我们是冠军，谢谢你们。
2018 has become the year of Uzi.
Year of the dog for sure. They called the strategy raising the puppy. Now he's able to take it all the way.
2018 is when the balance of power between Korea and China really felt like it started to tilt back in China's favor.
2018的冠军是中国队，我们赢下了韩国队。
我们中国人其实是很有家国情怀的，所以当5星红旗在那个赛场上面升起，然后看到熟悉的人站在最高的领奖台上面举着金牌，爽上加爽。
This is now 3 titles that Uzi has swept up alongside his domestic one.
Long may they reign! Royal never give up for your 2018 LPL champion!
我觉得2018年可能或多或少会是他职业生涯的一点点缩影。你读了那么多他坚持了这么多年的故事，好像所有的英雄故事有了一个很漂亮的结局。
RNG, because they've already shown so many great things during the year, and because they have the best player in the world right now in Uzi, we can safely say they are favorites.
全中国的英雄联盟玩家就觉得今年就他了。
这一整年你的状态都很好，你没有任何的低谷。 但是在最重要的那一场比赛的时候，你会发现你的状态没有那么好。
Delivers a perfect play. GA, Uzi down! Boy, Uzi down! It's all on Xiaohu! Xiaohu's running for it! Burks has found him! Burks goes golden with the hourglass. They may have just done it!
G2 have just dismantled RNG! And they're gonna make their way to the semi-finals!
那场比赛也恰好是我解说的，直到现在我都不愿意去回看那场比赛的一个录像，因为我觉得那场就是那样一个天上再到地上的一个感觉，我觉得那个差距会太大了。
RNG stopped dead in their tracks along the Golden Road.
有一次小明在开直播说：“你以为10月20号对于我们来说很容易吗？”我也没有走出来。
那时候我还记得，我去拥抱了他一下。我看到他很难受嘛，我觉得我没有什么能帮他做的。
He's so close. He's always right there, top 2 at Worlds, top 4 at Worlds, but you only remember the winners.
PL has never won before, but that will change today. The crownless are finally king.
Uzi had a really disappointing exit to Worlds in 2019. They had a disastrous last day of group stage. They didn't even advance to the quarterfinals.
It's so amazing. Emotions hitting two of the greatest AD carries of all time. Uzi stepping away in the group stage for the first time. Reckless overcome with emotion.
I cried because I beat Uzi. After looking up to him all these years, for me that was the biggest thing that's potentially happened to me up until this point.
Of true competitors.
2020年的6月份，当天我跟几个同事我们在连语音，然后突然在这个游戏之间有一个人就在语音里说了一声说乌兹退役了，
然后瞬间听到那样一个消息，首先我是有点不可置信，但更多的可能是尊重跟祝福吧，总因为他这么多年可能也太累了。
之后他选择复出，然后那个时候，我其实现在讲到我都会有一点点，
这就是我觉得我该做的，这也是电竞选手的决心和他应该做的吧。对，我觉得谢谢大家的支持。
那种其实是岁月终有回响的感觉。
那2年甚至都已经感觉到，可能是不是已经到头了，没有办法再继续下去这个职业道路了。
You don't just spend a few hours every day doing this. You spend every hour of every day doing this. And the opponents you're playing against, the other best players in the world, do exactly that. And you can't? That might as well be the end of it.
我在家找出了一些之前粉丝写给你的信，都还蛮珍贵的这些东西。我觉得你对他们的影响还蛮深的。我看他们写的信，我都还蛮感动的，因为他们都是手写的。这封信他们都没有署名，就是他们的署名只是一个默默喜欢你的10年的粉丝。我的所有努力可能都付出在英雄联盟了。很心酸哎，我现在看到这句话还觉得有点心酸，是不是？好久远哦，哇，那个时候好年轻，好稚嫩哦。
哎呀，
你当时查出糖尿病应该是19年吧？
差不多。是的，在这个中间真的是调整过很多次的这种，不管是饮食啊，还是生活习惯啊，就是完全想象不到我可以早睡早起。都是那个时候改过来的。其实我那个跑完，我说实话，我在跑前我也没有信心去跑完，就那种感觉。但是我觉得就是不要觉得一定可以跑完，也不要觉得自己跑不完，只要不倒下就可以继续前进。
因为就是你的性格就是这样，要做就做到最好，要不做就不做。 怀念吗？
其实我感觉就是，正因为这么多人在支持你跟关注你，并且是可能有一些人可能在监督你的，就是那种感觉吧，就是会让我更有力量感，更加的要去找到一个更好的自己吧。我感觉印象很深的就是有一次慈善类型的活动吧，那个时候就是有一个手没有那么健康的一个玩家，他去台上玩，然后看他玩，他算是特别好的，我就知道他一定付出了很多努力嘛。我就想说，如果以后有更多的机会，能不能够去跟他们一起互动，甚至去帮助到他们。
我从 S7开始转型玩 AD 的时候，我的个人玩法基本上都是照搬乌兹的。有很多人看到我这样子，会觉得我会自暴自弃、破罐子破摔，但是我不这么觉得。我就喜欢逆风翻盘、绝地反击、永不放弃的精神。
虽然可能没有拿过所有的冠军，但是我觉得你这一路坚持到底，你得到了很美好的东西，不只是最后那一个冠军吧。
小狗，恭喜你进入名人堂。如果有机会的话，我们再打一下下路。
우지 선수 덕분에 이제 좋은 일 나쁜 일 많았었지만 결정적으로 이제 우지 너 덕분에 월드 진출이라는 나의 꿈을 하나 이룰 수 있어서 정말 좋았다.
당연히 그렇게 돼야 될 선수라고 생각을 했기 때문에 정말 다시 한번 축하드리고.
你在我印象中依然是那个无所不能的狂小狗，你在所有玩家的心中也是那个最好的 ADC。
致敬你一路的传奇，感谢你成为我们青春的回忆。
Every time I played against you, it was a really special moment.
For me, you're the GOAT. You always will be.
你教会了我很多事情，让我从一个新人到大家都能叫出名字的一个选手。
乌兹，恭喜你进入到名人堂，咱们一起迎接更美好的明天。
정말 축하드리고.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
축하합니다.
우지 선수가 이제 은퇴를 한다고 했을 때 저는 이제 같이 오랫동안 했던 선수로서 조금 아쉽기도 했고 우지 선수 부상도 이제 은퇴 이유 중 하나인데 프로게이머로서 또 그런 부상도 열심히 관리해야겠다고 생각했습니다. 분명히 존중하고 레전드라고 생각합니다.
非常的开心，也非常的荣幸吧，也希望大家可以拥有一个这个美好自己的人生吧，大家一起去进步，感谢你们。哇塞，这个是谁，小崽儿？这是谁？你看，这是谁？
你有爸爸。
这是爸爸吗？
传奇该如何铸就？